The Phantom Slayer, the Hunter and the Queen. The town of Black Hollow had always been cursed. Whispers filled the air, shadows moved on their own, and those who wandered at night never returned. But Keel Vane was no ordinary man. He was a Phantom Slayer, a hunter who didn't just banish ghosts, he destroyed them. Armed with spectral daggers that could sever spirits from existence, he was the last of his kind. Tonight, he had one target. Lilith Vera, the Queen of the Forgotten. A deep fog crept through the ruins of the old cathedral as Kale stepped inside. The air was ice-cold, and the sky above bled crimson. He gripped his daggers tighter. Then she appeared. A towering, ghostly figure, shifting between beauty and decay. Her hollow eyes glowed silver, her tattered gown floating as if caught in a storm. Shadows curled around her like living creatures. "You should not have come, Hunter," she whispered, her voice a chorus of the dead. Kale smirked. "You should have stayed dead." The wailing of souls filled the air. Hundreds of spirits surged toward him. With a flick of his wrist, 6 glowing daggers materialized around him. And then, he summoned his beasts. Dralzir, the Shadowfang wolf, its void-like eyes burning with rage. Vorthas, the serpent of the Vale, its fangs dripping with venom that could dissolve souls. The battle erupted. Keel's daggers tore through spirits, Dralzir pounced, and Vorthas struck like lightning. Ghostly shrieks echoed as the creatures fell one by one. But then, Lilith raised a hand and everything went black. Darkness swallowed everything. Kale hit the ground hard, his vision blurred, his body aching. The air was thick with whispers, the wails of the dead pressing in on him. Lilith Vera stood above him, her hollow eyes burning with cruel amusement. "You are nothing," she hissed, her voice layered with 1,000 tormented souls. Kale clenched his fists. No, he was not nothing. With a sharp breath, he pushed himself up and summoned his daggers once more. The spectral blades flickered to life, glowing a fierce, ghostly blue. Lilith lifted a clawed hand, and the shadows surged toward him. Kale struck first. His daggers exploded through the darkness, piercing the spirits rushing at him. Dralzir and Vorthas reappeared, their forms blazing with renewed fury. The wolf tore through the apparitions while the serpent coiled around the ruins, striking with deadly precision. But Lilith was untouched. She raised both arms, and the cathedral. A tidal wave of shadow crashed down, shattering Kale's creatures into dust. The impact hurled him backward, blood dripping from his forehead. Lilith floated toward him, her form shifting into a monstrous wraith-like shape. "This is your end, Hunter." Kale's breath was ragged, but his grip on his daggers never faltered. With the last of his strength, he raised both hands and summoned every blade he had. Dozens, then hundreds. The sky filled with daggers, glowing so brightly they turned night into day. Lilith's empty eyes widened. No, Kale threw them all. The blades ripped through her, tearing her apart piece by piece. Her form shrieked, collapsing inward, vanishing into the void. And then, silence. The Queen of the Forgotten was no more. Kale staggered to his feet, breathing heavily. The curse of Black Hollow had been lifted. But deep beneath the earth, something else stirred. The end for now.